What if you grew up dreaming about the perfect romance, and then one day, you actually found it? But what if, deep down, a small voice in your head kept whispering, "This is too good to be true"? Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's heartfelt, vulnerable, and surprisingly real. It's Too Good to Be True by Prajakta Koli, yes, our very own MostlySane, and her debut novel is a beautiful blend of bookish dreams, messy emotions, and the modern confusion of falling in love while figuring yourself out. Grab your chai or coffee, because this one's a ride. Meet Avni Deshpande, a 20-something law student, who's a little bit of everything we can relate to. She's smart, stubborn, a lover of romance novels, and, surprise, works part-time in a bookstore in Mumbai. Yes, she's a modern girl, navigating adulthood, and completely obsessed with those dreamy romance novels where love is perfect, without fail. But here's the twist: Avni's real life isn't filled with the kind of love stories she's used to reading. In fact, her view on love is a little complicated. She's been burned before, and deep down, she's afraid to fall in love. Not because she hasn't seen romance, but because she's seen how messy and unpredictable love can be when it goes wrong. Her fears and insecurities about relationships make her question if she's even worthy of something as beautiful as what's in the books. And then, a man walks into her life like a page straight out of her favorite romance novel. A man is everything Avni has ever imagined: successful, well-dressed, mature, kind, and with a charm that draws her in like a moth to a flame. They meet by chance, and soon enough, their conversations flow with ease, the chemistry is undeniable, and for the first time in a long time, Avni starts to believe that maybe, just maybe, she's found her own fairytale romance. But here's where things get complicated. Avni's mind never stops. It's like a hamster on a wheel of doubt and overthinking. The more she falls for a man, the more she starts questioning their relationship. Why doesn't he do grand gestures like in the books? Why hasn't he said those magical words she's been waiting for? What if he's hiding something? What if she's not good enough for him? Every moment of happiness is followed by a tidal wave of doubt. She's so terrified of getting hurt, she begins sabotaging her own joy. She doubts her feelings, overanalyzes his every word, and wonders if this perfect romance is just another dream that will eventually crash down. It's exhausting. But here's the deeper twist: Too Good to Be True isn't just about the love story between Avni and a man. It's about the narratives we tell ourselves about love, self-worth, trust, and what we think we deserve. Avni is hilarious, messy, and 100% relatable. She's dealing with her internal battles, and her journey is not about landing the perfect guy, it's about finding peace within herself. Along the way, we get to meet Avni's squad: her best friend Martin, who's witty and protective, her cousin Ria, who's carefree and supportive, and her grandmother Arji, whose wisdom makes us stop and reflect. They all play pivotal roles in helping Avni navigate this emotional rollercoaster. And here's the kicker: we also get glimpses of a man's side of the story. Yes, you heard that right. We get to dive into his mind too, which adds so much depth to the story. A man isn't just the perfect man Avni imagines him to be. He has his own fears and insecurities. He's not immune to the emotional baggage of life and also wonders if he's enough for her. Why it hits different? Because the beauty of this story lies in its realness. This isn't your typical love story, full of grand gestures and picture-perfect moments. It's about the love that exists in the real world, love that's messy, flawed, and incredibly human. Avni's journey explores themes of healing, dealing with the scars of the past, and the struggle to believe in love when you've been conditioned to expect disappointment. It talks about trauma, anxiety, and the emotional baggage that affects how we view ourselves and the relationships we build. And it asks the most powerful question: what if the problem isn't that love is too good to be true, but that we don't believe we deserve it? Too Good to Be True isn't your typical rom-com or filmy love story. It's soft, relatable, and deeply emotional in a grounded, authentic way. Prajakta Koli brings her unique voice to Indian romance fiction with honesty, warmth, and so much heart. If you've ever struggled with trust issues, overthinking, or just letting yourself be happy, this book will feel like a hug and a wake-up call all in one. It's for anyone who's ever been scared of love, and also for those who are still figuring out how to open their hearts without fear. So, should you read Too Good to Be True? Absolutely. Whether you're a hopeless romantic, a skeptic of love, or just someone navigating adulthood's ups and downs, this book is for you. It's relatable, heartfelt, and a perfect mix of humor and emotion that'll make you laugh, cry, and most importantly, feel seen. And hey, who knows? It might even remind you that sometimes, the good things in life are really that good. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to hit subscribe for more in-depth book breakdowns and thoughtful reviews. Drop a comment if you want me to cover more books by Indian authors or anything from the romance genre.